Okay, so we are live right now, and it's going to be a very beautiful, lovely conversation. I mean, a lot of individuals have been looking forward to this conversation, especially with regards to the time that the season we are in. This is February, and everybody is thinking love, love, love. When we talk about
Yeah.
and emotional abuse and breakups and all that, people always talk about, look at it from the perspective within the spectrum of love. I mean, especially romantic love, right? People falling in love and having issues in their marriage or in this relationship, and then everything disintegrates, and then people get hurt as a result of that. So that's what we're going to be looking at. Not just about romantic relationships, but emotional abuse can happen in the workplace. Emotional abuse can happen within the marriages, can happen even inside the football teams. Emotional abuse can happen. It can happen, I mean, in many places. As long as human beings interact and have communication and have some form of bonding, these things are bound to happen. And so that's the conversation that we are going to be having today. So if you have had a broken relationship, if you got divorced painfully, if you have been emotionally battered by your boss or by bullied by your friends, and you are hurting, this is a place. This conversation can help you to have the release that you have been craving for, and to have some form of. I mean, all of us we go through one form of pain or the other as a result of the things that happen in our relationships. I mean, it doesn't even need to be romantic. Like somebody can be close to you in your life and keeps coming close, sends you messages, and then you guys get closer, and then the person is in your circle, comes to you, visits you, eats in your house, and you guys exchange. I mean, you guys are building together, and without any warning, this individual begins to distance himself or herself from you. And you keep asking the question, what's going on? What, I mean, the person said, no, nothing is wrong. Nothing. And then just like that, the person keeps going farther and farther and farther and away from your life. That can be very painful because you live with the thinking that you did something extremely wrong. I mean, it happens. It really, really happens. I remember one time when I was in a relationship with someone, and she told me to come to Lagos. We were chatting and calling excitedly 2 days before I left. A day before I left for Lagos, it was all exciting. Oh, I'm going to see you, this, that. And then the next morning, I was leaving for Lagos. I couldn't get across to her. Okay, I just assumed, okay, maybe her phone was down and all that. I got to Lagos, kept on calling the number. She wasn't picking. I was scared at some point. Maybe she was kidnapped or something happened, you know. And what made me know that something really, really was bad was when I took my friend's number, my friend's phone, and called her, and then she picked, and then heard my voice and dropped the call.
Wow.
Yeah, it was just 3 years after, 3 years after that she eventually opened up to me to tell me that she couldn't just deal. And that was the only way that she could put me away. And I'm like, had it been I didn't have a friend in Lagos, what would have happened to me? Like, you planned that I was going to come stay in a place, and I didn't have a friend that I could stay in his house. What could have happened to me? I mean, you didn't think about that. Okay, no, she didn't even think about that. That was the only way she knew she could cut off. Like 3 years after she opened her mouth to tell me of that. I mean, it was very painful. So sometimes it's not really when people are in romantic relationships. It could
Yeah.
be a friend, it could be someone that you look up to. It could even be your pastor. It could be
Uh-huh.
your mentor. The case may be that can emotionally abuse you. It could be your
Yeah.
husband. It could be your wife that could emotionally abuse. It could be your boss at work, and so people get pain as a result of this, relationship issues. And so we have my friend, and he jackpot from Nigeria, but now code is killing him. Code is killing him. He wants to come back to Nigeria, but we are saying no, so that we can. So he is
Mhm.
here to share with us how to handle heartbreak and emotional abuse. All right. So I will implore you to go tell your friends, tag 10 of them, 20 of them, 30 of them, let them come a part of this this live stream. I'm going to send the link now to my Telegram channel, inviting them also to be part of this conversation. Tag them in the comment section. That your friend, that your relation, that your relation. I mean, someone who you feel, someone you've known that is going through emotional abuse to be part of this conversation right now. And then on the screen, beneath the screen, you see the share button. All right, tap the share button and share this live stream because people need to have this conversation. All right. So without wasting much time, as I said, call go and type the things in the comment section and then introduce yourself. Let's know your name, what you do, and where you're tuning in from. Your name, what you do, and where you're tuning in from in the comment section. I can bring up your name on the screen so that people can know you and connect to you and perhaps do business with you if you are clear about your introduction and how you pitch yourself in the comment section. All right. So, as I said, three things: share the live stream, tag your friends, invite them, thirdly, introduce yourself in the comment section, and we will be enjoying this conversation alongside with you. All right, so without wasting much time, let me invite Dr. Emmanuel Abe to give us the lowdown on what you need to do to handle your heartbreak or your emotional abuse. Welcome, sir, all the way from the UK. You are welcome, and we are looking forward to having this great conversation together with you. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Didon, for this great opportunity. I'm happy to be here and to share with us how to manage this issue because heartbreak is something that everybody has experienced. There's hardly anybody that hasn't experienced one form of heartbreak or the other, especially from friends, family members, work fellow workers, and people around you. It is so intense that if it is not well managed, can actually affect you for life. That is why I came up with this topic, and I want to share with you how to handle heartbreak and emotional abuse. Let me introduce myself briefly. My name is Dr. Emmanuel Akbe. I'm a stress management coach and also a doctor of holistic medicine. And I'm, of course, as the Don said, I'm based here in the UK. So uh, I remember the first time I had my first outbreak. It was devastating for me. What happened was that I was dating someone while in the university, and of course we were very close. I decided to travel. I traveled. It was somewhere in the east. I traveled and came in to town very early in the morning, let's say around 6 a.m. And I decided to pay my girlfriend, supposedly then, a visit. I got into her flat, knocked, and she opened the door, of course, when I came in, guess what I saw? I saw a young man wearing a boxer on the bed. What is going on? I asked. It was like a shock to me. What is going on? And she was pleading, begging that it was a mistake. She didn't know what happened. Throughout that day, I was devastated. I was so confused that I was sending messages. I was supposed to be sending messages to her friend to complain to her friend what was going on. And I was sending the message to her. That was the level of confusion I had at that point in time. So it was so bad. And do you know what I discovered? I discovered that everybody knew that she was going out with this guy. Apart from me, everybody knew that she was cheating on me, but I didn't know. So most times, people that experience heartbreak, people around you know that something is going to happen. But how are you so blinded to the point that you don't know that something like that is going to happen? We're going to be looking at some of those things. So heartbreak is very, very devastating. It can actually affect everybody. Nobody is immune to it. But how you heal and move forward will determine how you succeed in life. Some people have actually stopped growing and have remained in one stop because somebody broke their heart. Some people have stopped going into relationship because somebody broke their heart. So I'm not going to date any guy again because all the guys I've met have always broken my heart. So it means that if you're attracted to guys who break your heart, it means that there's something wrong with you. So you are always meeting someone. First relationship, they broke your heart. Second relationship, they broke your heart. Third relationship, by the fourth relationship, you should sit down and evaluate yourself. That something must be wrong with me. That is why I am attracted, or these guys are attracted to me. Meanwhile, there are also other guys, because they are mainly guys though, that are serial heartbreakers. Serial heartbreakers. So these guys have specialized the art of heartbreaking. They meet you for the first time, bamboozle you with words, tell you how fantastic you, how beautiful you look, spoil you, even make love to you in a way that nobody has ever done. And apart from that, get you gifts, buy stuff. Valentine is coming. Valentine, they will spoil you, give you all manner of gifts. Then after that episode of taking you to a high point, they will drop you low. So how do they drop you low? They start treating you like trash. But because they showed you so much love, you are now attracted to them. It is very difficult for you to say, no, I'm no longer attracted to this person. I want to leave. It is very difficult because they've bought you over. So when they take you to that point, they just drop you. So that's when they start gaslighting you. They start talking to you as if you're a trash. And before you know what is going on, they will tell you that it's over. I can't deal with this anymore. So it is very difficult for you to let go. And it is very painful because you want to get back to that point of excitement, that point they took you to initially. That point is more like somebody being high, because you know the excitement of someone getting you a gift, of also making sexual advances at you, or having whatever sexual satisfaction you are having from him, or you are benefiting from him. You want to go back to that. You want to experience that feeling of highness again. So you are automatically trapped in that relationship. You are trapped in that relationship. So these guys are called narcissists. So that is who they are. They are serial heartbreakers. The problem with heartbreak is that the past memories sneak into your heart from time to time, and it stops you from embracing the present happiness. So, for instance, you are in a new relationship and this guy is trying his best to make you happy. But because of the past relationship you've had, because of the way you were treated very badly, from time to time, you remember it and it affects your mood. It stops you from being happy. For no reason, you start maltreating or abusing your new found love. And because this guy is wondering, what did I do? Or this lady is wondering, what did I do? Why are you treating me this way? I'm sure that most of you must have experienced it. Why are you treating me this way? What did I do? So because of that, the relationship ends. Many people are in a circle of heartbreak. So from one heartbreak to the other, because of the kind of hearts they enter into the relationship with. If you don't heal, it is not possible for you to enjoy marriage or a new relationship if you don't heal. So you must heal before you get into the next relationship. There is something I want you to understand, and that is the fact that heartbreak is a universal language. It's a universal phenomenon. It happens to everybody all over the world. Here in the UK, I met a lady who told me how she was abused by her husband for over 22 years. One day she just woke up and said, this is it. I'm getting out of this marriage. And as she left, and she was heartbroken. Do you know I was discussing with her about settling again, and she told me, Emmanuel, I don't want to settle with anybody. Anything man, count me out. And we have a lot of people that are thinking this way, that anything man, count me out. I'm not going to be part of it. Just leave me. I want to be alone as a mother, as a single mother. Some people will say, okay, I'll just meet one guy, he will pregnate me. I will not disturb him. Just take the child. I prefer to be a single mother than to get into a relationship, because you have experienced so much heartbreak. So it is something that is very painful. In fact, the pain of heartbreak can be likened to one of the most intensive kind of pain that anybody can experience. Have you ever imagined that some people experience heartbreak and they break down mentally? In fact, they run mad. You must have seen cases like that where people experience heartbreak and they can't bear it any longer. They want to commit suicide. And you hear things like, if you don't marry me, I'm going to kill myself. Or if you don't go out with me, I'm going to kill myself. Because they can't stand the pain of heartbreak. They can't stand the pain. So instead of standing the pain of heartbreak, they prefer to take their own life. That is to tell you how painful heartbreak is. Of course, I don't need to define heartbreak. You know what it means. When somebody disappoints you, especially when you are in a relationship or any kind of friendship, and the person does things to hurt you, and to the point of ghosting or cutting off the relationship, could lead to heartbreak. So that's definitely the definition. It is very, very important for us to understand that heartbreak is a universal language, as I mentioned, and it is something that everybody experiences. If you know that heartbreak is something that everybody experiences, it is easier for you to manage it. Because I'm not the first, I'm not the only person to experience heartbreak. Everybody does that every time. But here is another negative side. You can actually kill your emotions if you don't handle heartbreaks well. So you get to a point where you no longer have emotional feelings. No matter what anybody does to you, you no longer feel any pain. You no longer have any feeling for anybody. So even when you go into the next relationship, you find it difficult to love because there's no feeling. You have killed or mortified. Let me use King James Version. You have mortified, or you have turned your heart to momo. So your heart, nothing can penetrate. Your heart is now so tough that nothing can penetrate. What you just did is to kill your emotions. You didn't heal. You would think that you have healed, but you didn't heal. Because if someone can actually penetrate through that hardness and get to you, you will respond in the same way. All those emotions will flood back into your mind, and you start reacting in a typical heartbreak way. So don't kill those emotions. Heal. Of course, I'm going to show you how to heal. Then the next point is, heartbreak has severe impacts on our body and on our mind. So the impact of heartbreak on the body manifests as some diseases. So if somebody breaks your heart, you can develop instant fever. You touch your neck and you see that the temperature, your body temperature is very high. You can develop diarrhea, instantaneous diarrhea. So you discover, immediately you get the news or you get the text message that it's over, I want to move on, or let's take a break. You develop instant diarrhea and you want to go to the toilet. It gets also bad if the test comes in a very dramatic way. You know, there are some people that they don't have the guts to look at you to tell you that I don't want to do this anymore. So you didn't even hear it from the person. You didn't even receive a text message. It was the person's friend that told you that the person is about to get married next Saturday. In such cases, it can be very traumatic. And you discover that you begin to lose weight. You begin to lose weight. So you were very robust, looking very happy, and you're with chin popping out, and within 24 hours, you dry up as if you have been sick for over a year. That is the impact of heartbreak, because heartbreak triggers an emotional and stress response that actually exhausts your nutrients, your all the minerals in your body, all the nutrients, all the vitamins are exhausted because of the amount of energy that you need to go through that process. And it is all this process of high energy supply to the brain, because your brain needs to reason to find out what is going on. Of course, your brain is under stress, the mind is under stress, and it's putting the body under stress. All that process makes the body temperature to increase because of all the processes that is going on. And there is also the emotional impact. So the emotional impact occurs in such a way that it will affect your relationship with other people. How do you know that there's an emotional impact? Sleepless nights. While others are sleeping, you are watching the ceiling. You are counting the ceiling, and you can't sleep because of the impact. You enter into depression, anxiety, excessive stress, irritability. Everything gets you angry outbursts. So somebody's trying to explain something to you, and maybe someone mistakenly hit you while trying to explain something to you, and you provoke, you get angry and want the person to stay away from you. The person didn't do anything. You are carrying all that heaviness, all that hurt on because of what has happened. So there's a kind of heavy load on your chest when you don't deal with such emotional pain. It is very, very possible for you to feel the pain physically. Of course, you are feeling an emotional pain, but it's also possible for you to feel physical pain. So you are feeling natural pain. If you touch your chest, you feel pain because of that emotional heaviness that you are going through. So let's move on. Of course, when the body is under severe stress, there are some hormones that are released. These hormones are called stress hormones. The first one is cortisol and adrenaline, sometimes not adrenaline. So these hormones keep you on the edge. They make your body to be on a state of attack to fight off what is causing you stress. So if you don't deal with it quickly, those hormones begin to destroy the body. There are some people that have gotten liver problem, cardiac arrest, or even kidney failure because of unforgiveness, because of the heaviness of a heartbreak. There is a direct link. I'm telling you, I'm talking to you now as a medical professional. There is a direct link between heartbreak and diseases of the organs, because the stress hormone that is released begin to affect the organs and stops them from functioning the way it's supposed to function. You will discover that if you are under severe stress, you don't eat very well. So of course your body is not getting the nutrient it desires because you have lost appetite. And because they are not getting the nutrients, they are not able to function the way they are supposed to. Before you know it, they start misbehaving and they say the person needs to go to the hospital. Let's move on. So I want to talk about emotional abuse. I've talked about heartbreak. I want to talk about emotional abuse. Then I'll tie everything up on how you need to bounce back and be on top of your game. So let's move on to that. Emotional abuse is a very, very common thing that happens every day. There are a lot of people that are abused emotionally in the offices. A lot of people are abused in their relationships. A lot of people are abused in their families. There are some families that you dare not talk when they are talking. You dare not talk. Who are you to talk? So the younger ones have no say in the family. They are always abused. They are always talked down on. They are treated as trash. So emotional abuse can demoralize you and keep you as a slave for a very long time. Of course, we heard the story about the slave trade, even when they announced that slave trade has been abolished. Because these guys are used to slavery, some of them preferred to remain as slaves than starting life again as a freeborn or as a free person. So sometimes emotional abuse can make you lose your worth in life. How do you discover someone or identify someone who has the potential or who is already abusing you? How do you discover? How do you know this person is abusing me or this person can abuse me? Because there are sometimes that you go into a relationship or even marriage and those red flags are there, but because you don't know what they are, you just go into it because you are blinded by love. So the love that blinded you also also made you not to see the faults of the guy or the lady that you're about to marry. So some ladies are like, when we get married, I will change him. You can't change anything. You can't change anything. You can't change. The only thing you can change is your underwear. You can't change a full-grown man. You can't change a full-grown man. If he's pretending to have changed, he's just pretending. After some time, the full blast of who he is will begin to manifest. And by that time, it's already too late. So we have the silent tormentor. The silent tormentor. So these ones abuse you with words. They control you and manipulate you. So they subtly manipulate you, make you think that you don't know what you're doing. And of course, it's silent because you begin to wonder that this person loves me, because they show you so much love. They show you the kind of love that nobody has showed you before. So you are wondering, this should be love now, because you see it as love because of the way they present it. So they buy you gifts and treat you bad. I know many of you must have heard this story about a woman who saw the husband molesting their baby. So she cried out on Facebook. A lot of people were out to help her with different offers to help her get lawyers to fight the case. And of course, she was going through with it until her husband bought her a car, a brand new car. So this lawyer that was following through on the case said she kept reaching out to this woman. The woman said, let's forget about it. It's an in-house thing. We've already settled it. Only for the lawyer to discover that the man bought the woman a gift of a brand new car, a Lexus Jeep or so. And this woman just forgave and forgot about everything. So these guys are silent tormentor. After some time, when you have settled in, they come up again with another form of abuse. Then there are some things that happen and you know that actually this person is abusing me. Some things I will call red flags. Red flags. If you see these things, please run away. Don't say I will change him. Don't say I will take him for deliverance. Even if you take him to all the prayer houses, if the man doesn't want to change, he will not change. Except if God decides to touch his heart. And in most cases, how will you know that God has touched his heart? That is not pretending. If he's always insulting you or calling you names to belittle you, to make fun of you, if he's always making fun of you in front of his friends, you go out with him and he and his friends are talking and he's insulting, he's calling you names in front of his friends and they are all laughing, please stay away from him. Please stay away from him. If he insults you because of your intelligence, your appearance, or your ability, please stay away from him. If he doesn't like the way you dress, your dress is a turn off for him, is something that puts him off, please stay away from him. Then another point is, if he's always blaming you for his misfortune, or something happens and he's always criticizing you, maybe you suggest, you told him to do this particular business, suggested to him to do a business, he did it and he failed, and throughout that week you were on, you passed through hell because he kept insulting you, kept saying all manner of things to you. Please run away from him. That means he cannot stand mistakes. Run away from him. So if you meet someone that is always criticizing your actions, your decisions, and your choices, both choices don't tally, please stay away from such person. I've met people in the course of my work who, their line of thought and the line of thought of the person they want to marry don't tally. So, like a lady now wants to, is into public speaking, wants to grow and become influential, become a public figure like Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala or like Obieze Ozekwesili, and the husband wants a full-time housewife that he can be paying and open a small shop for in front of the house where she can be selling things and going to cook for him. You met this guy and this guy is telling you that this is what he wants in a wife, and your what you want to achieve in life is so tall, it's even bigger than your dreams are bigger than you, and you need someone to push you. But this guy doesn't tally with what, it doesn't go close to what you want. Why are you still in that relationship? You need to cut off as soon as possible. I have personally separated two people who just fall into this class I just analyzed. The lady was doing very well on social media, going places, speaking, her speaking engagements and all that, was building her profile and her brand. Then she met this guy, and this guy wants a full-time housewife, even discouraging her from going on social media and posting. So why are you always on Facebook? Why are you always pressing phone? What are you even doing? If she wants to go on live stream, what are you doing there? Who are you teaching? What do you even think you know that you are teaching people? I told her, you have not married this guy yet. If you want to remain the way you are, or to do better in life, or to become who you want to be, please stay away from this relationship. And that's how she cut off the relationship. Another thing you need to check out is jealousy and possessiveness. Jealousy is not a good trait. Any man who is over possessive, or any lady who is over possessive, always asking you, who did you call today? When you come back from wherever you went to, you'll be scrolling through your phone to see who you called and be calling their names. Who is Fina? Who is Chichi? Who is Jamina? Who are these people that you called? What did you discuss with them? You are not caring. You are over possessive. And if you are over possessive, you are abusing your guy. You are abusing the guy. Try to be as balanced as possible. Know that in this life, people must meet people. Trust the person you want to get married to. If you don't trust the person enough not to if you don't trust the person enough to respect the sanctity of your relationship, then don't go into that relationship. You don't trust the person with a girl, so you can't leave your husband cannot have a female friend, or your wife have a male friend, and of course the friendship has boundaries. You understand what I'm talking about? So those are things we discuss. So your husband cannot have a female friend, and your wife cannot have a male friend. All hell will break loose. What are you doing? What are you doing? Especially for people who want to do very well in life, whose destiny is to become very great. Imagine telling someone like Okonjo-Iweala that, who is that guy you called? It's an insult. It's an insult. So if you don't trust the guy to remain faithful to you, don't get married to the person. If you don't trust the lady to remain faithful to you, don't get married to the person. Monitoring and controlling behavior is another point, of course. Gaslighting too is another point. So the abuser or the person that is a potential abuser may try to lie to you, manipulate you, and make you feel as if you are going crazy. I watched a skit some days ago by this, is it That Worry Girl on Facebook. So the husband came into the bedroom and saw her with a man. She was sleeping with a man. And the husband was like, who is this man? And do you know what she did? She said, where is the man? The husband was like, are you not seeing a man here? The wife, she was like, I'm the only person here. I'm sleeping here. I'm the only person here. So where is the man you're talking about? So the man kissed him. He said that he's even kissing you. He said, who kissed me? Nobody kissed me. And the guy walked out of the room. So that worry girl was like, if you know you saw somebody, why didn't you hold the person? I'm sure you didn't see anybody. So the husband was looking confused, as if he has gone crazy. Maybe he's not seeing things. So that is a typical example of gaslighting. You make people feel as if they are going crazy while you are subtly manipulating them. Don't allow anybody to gaslight you. If they do, that means they want to take advantage and emotionally abuse you. So what are the things you see and you know that you are being emotionally abused or you have suffered heartbreak? The first thing you need to see, you will see when you have been emotionally abused, is that you will now have a low self-esteem. When people are talking, you don't talk. You're always quiet because you don't know whether what you're going to say will make sense. You are always apologizing to people. Please forgive me. I want to ask a question. Why should we forgive you before asking a question? If you're that kind of person, please stop it. So you're chatting with somebody. Please, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I want to ask you this question. Why are you apologizing? That could be as a result of what you have experienced while growing up, or as a result of heartbreak. So you now have a very low self-esteem that you don't know how to state your point and be categorical, have enough self-esteem to state your point categorically without blaming yourself for saying what doesn't make sense. There are some people that they say what doesn't make sense, but they say it so confidently that you believe that it makes sense. It's about self-esteem. You become anxious and slip into depression. So when you start isolating yourself from people, you start staying alone, start thinking, depression is setting in. So depression comes with stress, with worry, with fear. You are so scared. Will I ever get married to anyone? I also thought like that because when I had the first heartbreak, I had the second heartbreak, I had the third heartbreak. By the time I had the third heartbreak, in fact, the third heartbreak was even more devastating because I've gone for introduction. I took wine to the person I want to marry. Say, I've brought wine. Please, give me a list. Of course, the man was like, we're going to send a list across so that you can bring your people. So I went for introduction. And by the time I came back on Sunday. By Monday, I got a text from the lady that it's over, that she cannot go on with the relationship. I was broken. I went into depression and I told myself, I don't think I can get married. Nobody loves me. But I picked up and I started reaching out to people. I started making friends, new set of friends. Because sometimes it's the circle that you are in that is the problem. You are in the wrong circle. You are among the wrong friends. So if you can move out of those friends, make new friends. Let me tell you this fact. There was a point where I deleted all the contacts on my phone because I was just going through all the contacts. There was nobody that was sensible. I'm sorry to say that, but all the contact I had were people who could not contribute anything to me, who could not even help me when I needed emotional support. They were not just there. They didn't just care because they too are going through stuff. So how can they help you when they too are going through stuff? I deleted all their contacts, started attending events, started getting new contacts, making new friends. And that was how I met my wife. And the rest is history. So what do? Move on. Don't stay on one spot. There is something that is called post-traumatic stress disorder. It's another sign. So if somebody breaks your heart and the person used to use a particular perfume, Christian Dior, with a particular smell, that is what he wears on his body. Anywhere you perceive that smell, all the emotional stress of the heartbreak, you will begin to remember everything. Everything will start coming back. Why? Because of post-traumatic stress disorder. It's a mental health problem. And I'm going to also show you how to come out of it. Of course, if you heal, it also goes away. So because of our time, let's go straight to what you need to do to heal. What you need to do to heal. Before we go into that, I want you to also know that it is possible that you are the problem in the abuse. You know, there are sometimes that men respond to words, especially if you're a woman and you are always using negative words on the man. You understand? You are, by the time the man says a word, you have scattered 1,000 words. By the time the man is trying to recover from those 1,000 words and just say a word, you have dropped another 1,000. So the man, because he cannot control his emotion, will start abusing you. So sometimes you need to watch. Am I the one triggering this abuse? Am I the one putting myself in a position where I can be abused? Some people are the ones putting themselves in the position where they can be abused. You understand? You don't respect your man, or you don't respect your wife. You don't honor them. You don't regard them in front of your friends. So you are putting yourself in a position where you can be abused. Sometimes ask yourself, am I really the problem? Is there anything that I am doing wrong that is making people to abuse me? Those are the questions that you need to ask yourself. Am I the one triggering this abuse? Is there something I'm doing? Is there something I'm saying? Is there something that everybody is trying to point my attention to, and I'm not taking correction? Or am I somebody who is bonded to my abuser? You know, there's something that is called trauma bonding. Trauma bonding. So it is a kind of likeness or love for the person that is abusing you. It's a mental health problem. So it's not normal. There's another one that is called Stockholm syndrome. Stockholm syndrome is when you are in a psychological condition where maybe you are in a hostage or somebody is abusing, but you have a positive attachment to them. A typical example is Nigerians and Nigerian politicians. We love our politician, we love our party, but they are abusing us. Yet we are still in love with them. That is Stockholm syndrome. Then there's codependency, especially if the man has put you in such a way, he put you in such a situation where you totally depend on him for everything. You don't have 1 naira of your own. The man has cut off your business, cut off your livelihood, cut off your friends. There is nobody. In fact, you're like a prisoner in a cell. So you are forced to depend on him. And that is what is happening in most marriages. Most women would have left that abusive marriage, but because where will they start from? They don't even have money of their own. They don't even have friends. Where will they start from? So instead of them to go out and start from square zero, they prefer to endure the abuse. That is what is called codependency. It's also a mental health problem. So how do you manage an abuse and bounce back? Start with self-reflection. What is it that I'm doing that is making me find myself in this situation? So self-reflection will make you see the things that you are doing. Is there a pattern of negative behavior? Is there something that I'm always doing that is triggering these things? Maybe I'm always asking for money in every relationship. Is that what is triggering it? So do I have a defensive behavior? That means I'm always right. There is nobody that is is right. I'm the one that is always right. So by the time they are trying to tell me what I am doing wrong, I'm telling them that it's not wrong, it is right. Is that what I'm doing? That is the question you should ask yourself. Do I have this habit of silent treatment? Do I give people silent treatment? So what happens is that somebody does something to you, the person doesn't even know he offended you. You just ghost. Or you remain in the same house and you stop talking to the person. Silent treatment in itself is a form of abuse. So the person is responding to your abuse. Because if you don't communicate, communication is like the life wire of every relationship. Any relationship we go into and you don't communicate, the relationship is as good as dead. So if the devil wants to scatter a marriage, he will take away communication. This one is thinking this one is thinking this. But in your heart, you want to talk. But because of your ego, you don't want to be the one to go beg. Before you know it, the thing scatters. Or is it that you are the one that doesn't accept criticism? So when they tell you about something that you have done or what you are wearing that is not befitting, you don't want to take it. I made a post sometime about somebody who went to a church. You know, the guy goes to, of course, all of them go to the same church, and the husband told the wife that I don't want you to wear trousers to the church. The wife said, no, who are you? Please go and deal with your insecurity. Of course, I saw the post on Twitter, then I also posted it on my page. Go and deal with your insecurities. Who are you to tell me what to wear? Then that Sunday, as they got to church, their pastor said, all workers should wait. And all workers waited. And he said from today, all workers should stop wearing jeans. Do you know the wife stopped? So it was easy for the wife to respond to the pastor, but it was difficult to respond to the husband. Who is more superior, your husband or your pastor? It's your husband. It's your husband. Let's move on. So, do you have controlling behavior? Do you subtly manipulate, blackmail? That's what is called emotional blackmail. So this person, because he doesn't want to do your bidding, you start shedding tears. You start crying. You start promising that, is this what you promised me? Is that what you say you're going to do for me and all that? All those emotional blackmail, those are things that can actually lead to problems. So how do you bounce back? How do you bounce back? You need to protect your mind. I will just describe this, then I'll just explain this, then we'll call it a day. You need to protect your mind. How do you protect your mind? You need to build up capacity to handle stressful situations without it getting to you. You need to get to a level where nothing disturbs you. It's not as if you are dead to it, but you have gotten to a level where it's a part of life. I can't kill myself because of it. And you move on. Genuinely move on. Not when you get to that point, you now start behaving as if you have lost all sense of emotion. No, you have healed. You have healed from the past relationship, because when you remember the hurt, you feel no pain. Like now, when I remember the hurt of the person that I went for introduction and broke up with me the next day, I feel no hurt. We still communicate once in a while to find out how the person is doing and all that. So you must make sure you get to that point where it doesn't pain you anymore. It becomes a normal thing. You see the person and you smile with the person. How are you doing? What's up? So you have truly forgiven the person. Healing starts with forgiveness. Healing starts with forgiveness. Forgive the person. The person didn't kill you. Forgive the person. And one thing I've discovered is that there may be something that God is preventing from happening to you in future. Of course, I'm a Christian and I believe in divine intervention in all areas of life. God may be trying to stop you from going into a relationship. Those people that broke up with me, if I married them, I may not have been where I am today. That is just the truth. Because the person I married was the one pushing me. My wife has been pushing me. Let's do this, let's do that, let's do this. Because I'm somebody that doesn't like stress. I'm always on my own. I want to do my stuff coolly and other. My wife will push me out. Go and do this. You can do it. And be supporting me at the background. That is why I am where I am today. So heartbreak might be a deliverance in disguise. God just saved you from calamity, from forever trauma, the kind of trauma that you just be experiencing every time. So why not accept it and heal? Forgive and heal. Get to a point where it's no longer pains you. Of course, it's painful. You can grieve. You can go through the stages of grieving, the denial, and all the stages, and the acceptance, and all these. Of course, we know the stages of grieving. You can go through all these stages, but let the ultimate point be to heal and to forgive. If you have not forgiven, you have not healed. You have not forgiven if you now make a decision after everything to say, I'm not going to go with any guy anymore. I'm not going to enter into any relationship anymore. You have not forgiven. Because if you truly forgive, you will give everybody equal chance. So this new guy that is coming wants you to give him equal chance as the other guy that shattered your heart. Then another thing you can do is to find a new source of joy. Of course, you went through pain and all that. Find a new source of joy. Some people find a new source of joy in a new relationship, but make sure you heal before you enter into a new relationship. So if a new relationship is going to give you a source of joy, fine. Some people find a source of joy in bestie. You know this thing they call bestie. Before we used to call it friends, now they call it bestie, and it has become something else. So find something that will give you joy. If it is buying things for yourself, buy. If it's buying iPhone Pro Max, go and buy it. Go for shopping. Take yourself out. Give yourself joy. It will help you to heal. Acknowledge the thoughts about your ex. So sometimes the thoughts about your ex can slip into your mind. It's okay. There's no problem. So acknowledge it that I still love this guy, but he dealt with me. But no problem, I'll move on with my life. So if you acknowledge that your ex dealt with you and it doesn't hamper your progress in life, it doesn't affect your next relationship, that means you have healed. Turn your attention to others. It's not only one person that is in this life. In the whole world, we have about 8 billion people. 8 billion, not million, 8 billion people. Don't allow one person to destroy your life. Move on, you will meet more people. Allow emotions to flow. Sometimes when you remember what happened, you start shedding tears. Cry. Nothing is wrong with it. Don't feel bad that you're crying. Because it pained you so much. Cry, but ultimately forgive. Avoid activities that remind you of your ex. If your ex is somebody that's always taking you to a particular joint every evening, don't go to that joint with your new ex. I say you're telling your new boyfriend or your new relationship. You're talking to your boyfriend. There's one place that my ex-boyfriend used to take me to. Can we go there? Why are you going there? Because going there is going to remind you of all the emotions, all the things you went through in the house of the guy. Then find meaningful relationship. Find meaningful relationship. Don't enter into a relationship that is worse than the one you're coming out from. Learn from the past experience and move on with more knowledge. Don't make the same mistake you have made before. That is a problem many people have. They see somebody because you are looking for a particular thing, someone that has a car, that has a house, that is your criteria. You are not looking at the person's character. So, and most of those people are sweet talkers. They will sweep you off your feet, and before you know it, you are into a relationship with them that will end up in a heartbreak. Don't be like that. So, this is the end of our training for today. Everything I've explained to you and more, when I mean more, are in a book called Beyond the Pain. I wrote that book late last year, and of course, I've sold many copies. It's an ebook. I made it so easy so that everybody can get it. I don't want to print the I don't want to produce the printed version because I want everybody to have access to it. Of course, it's about 84 pages or so. So it's something you can read within a day or two and then move on with it. But to teach you how to truly heal, how to identify an abuser and something and things like that. I'm going to post the link, of course, in this video for people who want to get it. Thank you very much, Didon, for this great opportunity.
Oh wow, amazing. I mean, as you are sharing and sharing, it means that my own didn't get up to your own. Thank God, though. I wonder how you would have felt. I mean,
Yeah.
saw the thing, the tick. Oh, well. All right, thanks. Okay, guys, are there questions you would like to ask Emmanuel? Emmanuel, but before the questions, as the questions are coming in the comment section, if there are questions,
Okay.
guys, please drop your questions in the comment section. All right, drop your questions. If you've got questions for Emmanuel, drop your questions in the comment section. Emmanuel, there's something that you're organizing apart from the ebook. While the questions are coming in the comment section,
Yeah.
would you mind to share that for us, please?
Okay, yes. So I will be in Nigeria on the 9th of March for a stress management retreat. And this retreat is going to be big. We have already paid for the hall. We have paid some of our speakers that will come, have paid their flight fare and their hotels and all that. So we're taking a day off on Saturday. It's going to be on Saturday where we will teach you. Of course, I will start with myself. I'm going to teach you stress management strategies for life. I'm going to teach you how to naturally heal the body. Many people are suffering from some diseases that they are tired of hospital, tired of medications, like stuff like that. I'm going to teach you some simple things that I did to reverse some of those diseases. Of course, you know, I'm a doctor of natural medicine, and I studied in the University of America in Netherlands. So I have all the skills I take to teach you that. Then I'm going to bring Pamela Udoka. Pamela Udoka is a sex therapist. I discovered that a lot of marriages are breaking because of lack of sexual satisfaction. There are some people that are living as roommates. The husband doesn't know how to make love. The wife doesn't know how to make love. There are some women that have never experienced orgasm. Orgasm is like something they are dreaming about. They've never experienced it. Pamela Udoka is a professional. She's a clinical psychologist and a certified sex therapist. So she'll be coming and she will teach you practical and also have sessions with you. You can explain your situation, peculiar situation to her, and she will deal with it. Then the last speaker is Dr. Victor Oshadare. Dr. Victor Oshadare is a World Bank certified business coach. He has helped a lot of individuals increase their finances. When it comes in the business world, Dr. Victor is a well-known name, both in Nigeria and internationally. He handles the World Health Training, World Bank, and all that. He trains our senators and all that. The person I'm talking to you about trains our senators on businesses and how to raise financial income. Because it's my close friend, he has agreed to come speak at this event. So the event is holding on the 9th of March. And I'll be coming from the UK with a lot of goodies, a lot of supplements. One good thing I enjoy in the UK is the availability of very high quality supplements that you can take and it will give you the result that it says it gives. That's one thing I've learned. So I'm getting some of those supplements, and of course we'll be playing some games and people will be winning some of those things. So I'm also going to post a link, or you can send me a DM. I will send you a link to join the wait list. Of course, registration has started. For individuals, single people that want to be a part of it, is 25,000 naira. And for couples that want to come together, is 45,000 naira. Of course, with that 25,000 naira is an investment that will give you far more than what you invested. Of course, I know what I'm talking about, and you will be happy you did. You have opportunity of networking because we have high networking individuals coming. So it's an opportunity for you to meet people and grow your circle. Grow your circle. I am where I am today because I met somebody called John Obidi. It was even John Obidi that mentioned Emeka Nobis. That made me to contact Emeka to say, okay, I'm going to Port Harcourt. And when I got to Port Harcourt, I went straight to his office. And since for the past 2 years, we have been friends. These guys have impacted my life so much. So it is a network that you have around you that determine how fast you grow in life. So when it was time for me to relocate, I didn't sweat. All I did was to fix 1 or 2 programs, and I had enough money to move my family out of Nigeria. Like what Emeka Nobis is doing. Some of the things that he's posting, people don't believe in those results. They say, how can you say you made 25 million selling one course, selling one ebook? It is the investment, it is the knowledge. I posted something on Facebook. I said, your level now is a level of knowledge you have. So if you come, learn from the professionals, learn from people that will train you, your life can never remain the same. Thank you.
Oh boy, the guys that you're bringing, I'm totally amazing. You didn't tell us about the venue. Is it in Port Harcourt or in Lagos, so that people can know?
Okay, so the venue is in Abuja. The venue is Abuja. I already paid it. It's in Kwarimpa. That's where the venue is. So we have opportunity for people to join virtually. I know there are some people that cannot move over to Abuja. And for people that want to join virtually, the virtual fee is 10,000 naira. After participating in the conference, everybody is going to get a soft copy of the whole sessions during the retreat. So you can always play it, remind yourself of those things, and of course, implement what you've learned. So the venue is in Abuja. If you can move over to Abuja, you're staying around Abuja, please take advantage of this. It's going to be massive. It's going to be a big one. I'm even speaking to some on-air personalities to also help me to promote it in their various radio stations.
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much. Okay, guys, I'm not seeing any question coming forth, but I want to ask this. I want to ask this myself, Manuel. I mean,
Okay.
I've had individuals that had very painful pasts, all right? Maybe things that happened like 12 years ago, 10 years ago, but somehow it seems that these things are deeply embedded within us. And so you find them, they are jumpy. Sometimes when you want to hug them, they are jumpy. They can't, for the women, they can't be in a room just private with a man. I mean, like in an office space and all that.
Yeah.
And feel like sometimes they don't want the door closed. They feel jumpy even while in the room. And sometimes they don't even know when they do it. Sometimes for the few that I've had the opportunity to have conversation with, and I pointed out and said, this is what I'm observing, this is what I'm seeing. And then they opened up to share with me what happened to them in the past. I mean, over time they have worked on themselves, but it seems that the thing is still consistently there.
Yeah.
What do you think these people should do? Like some of them will take these things into marriage, and maybe the partner doesn't understand that this is what is going on, but that's what it is. So, what do you advise? Are they supposed to go into some form of clinical therapy, or I don't know?
Yeah, sure. Therapy is the way to go. If you know that you have tried everything possible to heal, and you cannot heal, of course you can contact me and maybe join my community where you learn more. But for the purpose of this session, the first thing you need to do is to identify that there's a problem. Identify there's a problem. So, and don't blame yourself for what happened. Find someone, open up to the person. Of course, someone who is matured, either a spiritual leader or a friend who is matured, who can handle the situation. Explain your fears and all the things that you are going through. Of course, they will talk you out of it. And the good thing about this is this: if you know that that is a problem, it will help you to heal. Emotional pain or pain from heartbreak does not heal overnight. I want us to understand this. It doesn't heal overnight. It is a process. It heals in processes. That is why we have something like stages of grieving. for something like grief. Also for heartbreak, there are also stages. Of course, you don't believe the first stage is denial. You don't believe that that person can do that kind of thing to you. Of course, the person you have had a emotional and sexual relationship with, how can he turn around to do this kind of thing to you? Or how can she turn around to do this kind of thing? So you don't believe, you deny first. Then it dawns on you that it actually happened. From there, you start blaming yourself. From blaming yourself, you allow it to feel you so much that you start responding. So all those other things that Emeka is mentioning are the response to all that process. So you're responding. You don't want to be in the same room with a guy, maybe because of what has happened, or once the light goes off, you shout, "Please on the light, on the light," because something happened to you when the light went off, and you don't want it to repeat itself. So when you are conscious of that this is a problem, it is not normal, you consciously begin to stop it. Make a conscious effort, because no matter the therapy you go through, everything still falls back to you. If the therapist tells you that this is what you should, this is what you do, if you don't do it, you remain the way you came to him or her. So you must make a conscious effort to begin to stop that reaction. You are in a room and somebody offs the light or switches off the light. You want to respond, then you remember that this response is not normal. And you check yourself, put yourself in check. So if you do that repeatedly, after some time, you forget about it. And whether the person switches off the light or the whole community, there's no light, you don't feel anything. So because you have healed from it. So the major thing is for you to heal. And you have healed when you don't respond, or either physically or emotionally, to triggers of the heartbreak. Thank you.
There's a question on the screen from Joy Ezinne.
Okay. Okay, Emeka, can you read it out? The letters are very small. Okay, so you're asking, if I can get you right, how long it takes for one to heal. It can take from 1 week to 5 years. It doesn't have any specific time. So from 1 week, some people heal very fast. Everybody is different. Everybody is different. Some people are built tough. Some people, because of their upbringing, nothing can shake them. If you even tell them, okay, let me give you a typical example, like people that came from Edo State and Delta State, especially the ladies, because of the kind of upbringing from those areas, nothing can shake them, especially those that come from the hinterland. So if you want to break up with them, they will break up with you first, and nothing will shake them. So healing takes time. Allow yourself to heal properly. Then you have completely healed when you feel no pain, when you remember what happened. So Chinedu broke your heart and did you bad. Then you remember, you see, as you're scrolling through Facebook, you see Chinedu's post and you just go past it without feeling pain. Then you have healed. So if you don't feel pain, you don't feel hurt, by remembering or seeing the person or hearing about the person, you don't feel any pain, then you have healed. So what's the difference between healing and therapy? Healing is personal. Therapy is external. Okay, let me put it in a more scientific way. Healing is intrinsic. Therapy is extrinsic. So it means that as a therapist that I am, I will tell you what and what to do. Do this, do this. When you go home, close your eyes. Remember all the things that he did to you and tell yourself, I forgive you, Chinedu. That's therapy. But healing is when I decide that, okay, I want to forgive Chinedu. Sorry if your name is Chinedu, it's just an example, please. So I want to forgive Chinedu of all that he has done to me. And you start working on it. So when you get to the point where you see Chinedu and you greet Chinedu, even hug him and say, how are you doing? Well, how is your new wife? Maybe you left you and married someone else. How is your new wife? How is the family? I hope everything is fine. Even Chinedu will be shocked of your response because you have healed. So healing is done or done and dusted when you feel no pain, no hurt. Any more questions?
Not yet, not anyone yet. Okay, so
Okay.
maybe that is the last question that we are going to have on the conversation tonight. Thank you so much for this great conversation we had tonight,
I
and
appreciate you.
I thank you for this and the great work that you're doing again and again. Thank you, thank you, and thank you. I hope that I mean, I don't know if you're coming to Port Harcourt. We need some of those supplements.
I may, sure, I may.
Yeah, somebody, James, I don't know what you're typing yes to. Is that a question that you want to ask or no? I mean, those supplements that you're actually saying that they are doing what they ought to be doing, I think we will also need them, to
Yeah,
take that we can, better our bodies. All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Manuel.
I
Um,
appreciate it.
somebody is asking, is it proper to avoid someone that hurt you while you are healing?
Yes, yes. If that is your way of not triggering all the emotional response, then yes, you can. You can even block the person on all social media. You can. But when you are fully healed, unblock the person. So, but in the process of healing, of course, you can avoid the person, avoid anywhere you guys usually go to, if possible. But the problem is if the person who broke your heart is working in the same office as you. So how will you avoid the person? You see why it is good for you to understand how to heal. So whether the person is there or not, you are healing and healing is going on fine. So um, avoid the person if you can, but if you cannot, heal nonetheless. It doesn't matter.
So, Blessing is asking that I have seen instances where one heals and present occurrences take you back to your past hurts. How do you explain that, please?
Yes, the fact that you have healed doesn't mean that you are forgotten. I want us to remember to understand this. There's a difference between healing and forgetting. You have healed, but you have not forgotten. Of course, I still remember how I traveled all the way to see my babe to be my wife to be then, and but how I bought the wine, dropped it, and how everything went. I still remember it, but I don't feel any pain. So if you remember it and it's triggering a certain reaction in you, that means you have not healed. You have not healed. Remembering it is normal. Of course, if somebody that hurt you is from Anambra State, for example, anytime somebody is mentioning Anambra in a conversation, you remember the guy. You remember the guy. But remembering the guy doesn't mean that it should hurt you. So you may have healed, but you might not have forgotten. And they are two different things. So because healing is not going to create amnesia and remove that part of information from your brain. No, it's not going to do that. It's only going to make you get to a point where you remember the situation, but it doesn't hurt you. You smile about it. So when I'm giving this gist now, I'm smiling because it's not paining me any longer. It's not paining me. The times when it pained me is over. I've gone through those stages. So you may remember, but it shouldn't trigger any pain.
Someone is asking, how do you heal from the guilt of hurting someone? It's a different ball game when you are the offender. How does one navigate around this?
Yeah, so it's part of what I wrote in my book. Now you are the abuser, and you are the one, the serial heartbreaker. How do you heal from this? First of all, you need to understand that what you are doing to people is wrong. You need to come to self-realization that you need help. You need help. If it is possible, reach out to someone to help you, because you are exhibiting some characteristics that are not normal in a normal human society. You are abusing people, you are breaking people's hearts. You need to heal from it. You that is abusing people, you are also a victim. You are also a victim, because I discovered a lot of abusers were abused before. So because they were abused before, they grew up to become abusers. For instance, someone whose father was always beating the mother will grow up to think that beating a wife is a normal thing. You understand? So you need to heal from childhood trauma, which is a major cause of this kind of abuse. Childhood trauma, accumulated trauma. You need to heal from it. I explained it in details in my book. You need to heal from it. So you need to get to a point where you tell yourself that, no, I don't want to abuse anyone anymore. Start healing from it, and start stating the way you want to behave. So if, for instance, you want to enter into a relationship, be open to the person that I have been experiencing this. This is what I used to do, but I don't want to do it anymore. So if at any point you notice that I'm showing any sign of abuse, please point it out to me. And if you have abused someone before and the person didn't forgive you, first of all, forgive yourself. After forgiving yourself, reach out to the person if you can. Reach out to the person, explain yourself that you didn't know what you were doing, but now you know better, that you are sorry. It is called restitution. So you restitute by reaching out to the people who you abused and telling them that you have turned a new leaf. Of course, before you do this, make sure that you have truly turned a new leaf. It starts with you and only you.
So this person is asking, is it okay if after you've healed, but that incident that occurred now makes you more self-protective of yourself and decreases your chances of trust for other people?
Yeah, this is not healing. You are what you are doing is called self-defense. You you think you are protecting your heart against abuse, but a professional heartbreaker can still penetrate it and still break your heart. When I mean a professional heartbreaker, a serial heartbreaker can still penetrate. So nobody's saying you should not be careful. There's a difference between being careful and trying to overprotect yourself. When you are careful and you have experienced a heartbreak and somebody is coming to you with some of those attributes, some of those red flags that you saw in previous relationships that ended in heartbreak, you are careful enough to say, I have gone through this road before, I don't want to go through it again. But it's a different ball game if you now see a guy comes to meet you and trying to chat you up, and the next thing you say is that, you guys, you have come again. Do you want to break my heart, or what are you looking for? Why are you coming to me? You become unnecessarily agitated and irritated by someone coming to you because you're trying to protect yourself. Or if there's a gathering where boys or guys are gathered, you don't want to go there because you think you are protecting yourself. You might be protecting yourself from the person who is supposed to be your husband or your wife. So the idea is this: don't allow your past hurt to affect your future relationship. Just be careful. Look out for red flags and don't allow the same mistake to happen again. But don't say because I've had a lot of heartbreak. There are some people that have had a lot of heartbreak, like somebody that dated you for like 5 years, and only for the person to leave you and go marry someone else. That's a traumatizing experience. But don't protect yourself to the point where other people want to come to you, make friends with you, and even get to know you more. Because throughout the 5 years, you were only attached to this guy. So everybody gave you chance. Everybody allowed you to be. But now they've seen that you are alone, you are not with anybody, and they want to make friends with you. Then you want to protect yourself from what exactly? So there's no need for that. Just be careful.
Somebody's asking, is there anything like healing for kids?
Yes, there is something like healing for kids. In fact, because of this kind of issues, traumas that comes with kids, I actually created a course called Stress Management for Children. And of course, it's on Seller. If you want it, you can come to my DM and I'll send it to you so you can give it to your children and they can learn from it. But there is healing from children. Children go through all manner of trauma. Children see a lot of things, especially children from broken homes. If a child is from a broken home, or a child has gone through any kind of trauma, please take that child to a therapist for healing. Make sure that it does not significantly impact the way the child looks at life, because that is the same ideology the child is going to carry throughout life. For somebody who saw the father always beating the mom, or for somebody who was always molested by the daddy or the uncle, we find it difficult trusting a man. So for every relationship, she's coming with the mindset that this person want to molest me, because that is how you were molested as a child. So because you didn't heal, you carried that same ideology, that same idea, that same feeling into adulthood. So if for any reason any child has experienced any kind of trauma, please get them to a point where it does not affect them. Of course, you can ask them questions, find out what they think about certain situations in life. From there, you can begin to make corrections. I'm talking to you if you don't have an access to a therapist, or you cannot get the course. Then what you can do is to ask them questions about what they see about marriage. What is your thought about marriage? Is marriage a good thing? You'll be surprised that the child will tell you that I don't want to get married. Why? Because my dad is always beating my mommy, or they are always quarreling. So he doesn't want to get married. So when you get that idea, then it's easy for you to move on from there. Is it okay to forgive someone who hurt you before and now wants to come back? The decision is totally left to you. People come back every day. I read on Facebook that Tonto DK's S has come back. I also read about one other lady, is it Angela Musu or something, that left her husband, married a second husband, married a third husband, and later came back to the first husband. So the decision is totally yours. I'm not going to tell you what to do. If you feel that whatever caused the separation has been resolved, and the man has decided, both of you have agreed that you can come back, I'm not going to deprive you of that joy of coming back to your ex. But if you have moved on and you have entered another relationship and the relationship is doing just fine, then because this guy from nowhere just came out and said he wants you guys to go back, I'm sure you are in for a serious trouble. So once you are in a relationship and you love this guy or you love this new lady, please don't go back to your ex. Stay with the new person. That is the advice I have to you. Because the new person has never abused you. Your ex has abused you before. He has the capacity, he has the propensity to abuse you again. So don't go back. Any other question? Okay, so while okay, so we have come to the end of this class. Thank you very much. I appreciate everyone who joined us. God bless you, and see you. Please remember to follow me. If you want to join my WhatsApp community, I will drop the link in the comments. I'm going to drop in the next few minutes. Then you can join me. Thank you very much. I'll see you later. Bye.